Good morning, everybody. I think it's me here alone today. Charles is on his way up to be with his son, who we're praying for. He's having some surgery done, and we're just praying for Charles's safety and the surgery to go well, and that God will be watching over all of them for the rest of the week at least, and going forward. So, good morning, and it is BALT, and we're reading the Holy Bible. I'm a little lost because, really, I'm just a part of the program, generally not the host. And starting off today in a real frazzle. So, if you would say a little prayer for me throughout the week, I would really appreciate it. We have a lot of things going on in Nebraska here, also with our family, and I'm praying for my daughter in law and her successful surgery, which is happening tomorrow. So we'll see you in the morning, and do say a little prayer for her. Uh, They're going out early in the morning, so that's why I'm mentioning it today. I'm going to pull up a banner here. We will be reading in Psalms chapter 74, verses 1 through 23, and John chapter 5, and we'll be doing 1 through 18. So, just another good morning, and I'm going to start reading in Psalms. And if anybody wants to jump on, feel free. We've just got lots of room at the table today. Psalms 74. This is a plea for God to help his people defend his cause and remember his promises. When we feel devastated or forgotten, we can plead to God for help, knowing that he hears. This was another one that was written by Asaph, or one of his descendants, they say, since many believe this is to be written after Jerusalem's fall in 586 BC. Why have you rejected us forever, O God? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture? Remember the people you purchased of old, the tribe of your inheritance, whom you redeemed, Mount Zion, where you dwelt. Turn your steps toward these everlasting ruins. All this destruction the enemy has brought on the sanctuary. Your foes roared in the place where you met with us. They set up their standards as signs. They behaved like men wielding axes to cut through a thicket of trees. They smashed all the carved paneling with their axes and hatchets. They burned your sanctuary to the ground. They defiled the dwelling place of your name. They said in their hearts, "We will crush them completely." They burned every place where God was worshipped in the land. We are given no miraculous signs, no prophets are left, and none of us knows how long this will be. How long will the enemy mock you, O God? Will the foe revile your name forever? Why do you hold back your hand, your right hand? Take it from the folds of your garment and destroy them. But you, O God, are my king from of old. You bring salvation upon the earth. It was you who split open the sea by your prayer. You broke the heads of the monsters in the waters. It was you who crushed the heads of Leviathan and gave him as food to the creatures of the desert. It was you who opened up springs and streams and dried up the ever flowing rivers. The day is yours, and yours also the night. You established the sun and the moon. It was you who set all the boundaries of the earth. You made both summer and winter. Excuse me. Remember how the enemy has mocked you, O Lord, how foolish people have reveled your name. Do not hand over the life of your dove to wild beasts. Do not forget the lives of your afflicted people forever. Have you regarded your covenant? Because haunts of violence fill the dark places of the land. Do not let the oppressed retreat in disgrace. May the poor and needy praise your name. Rise up, O God, and defend your cause. Remember how fools mock you all day long. Do not ignore the glamour of your adversaries, the uproar of your enemies, which rises continually. That is Psalm 74. God's anger against Israel had grown hot during the many years of their sin and idolatry. His patience endured for generations, but at last it was set aside for judgment. If you fall into sin and quickly seek God's forgiveness, his mercy may come quickly and his anger may leave quickly. If you persist in sinning against him, don't be surprised when his patience runs out. When enemy armies defeated Israel, they sacked and burned Jerusalem, trying to wipe out every trace of God. This has often been the response of people who hate God. Today, many are trying to erase God from traditions in our society and from subjects taught in our schools. Do what you can to maintain a Christian influence, but don't become discouraged. When others appear to make great strides in eliminating all traces of God, they cannot eliminate his presence among the believers. Sometimes we think God is acting slow, but his timing is always right. It's always perfect. As I was reading this earlier this morning and catching up a little bit on the world news, I watched a video of the leader of Ukraine who was visiting the hospitals. With everything that's been going on in that country and the fighting and everything, the attacks that they've taken, here is this man smiling and awarding those that have been injured awards for their strength and courage, just visiting both civilians and the fighters. And as I was reading this, it brought that to my attention that God is always with us, and he is with those people. Sometimes as an American and living in America, I forget the struggles that many people have had. We are facing some now with keeping God in their lives, in their country, restoring temples for the Jews has been an ongoing thing, and for many across the water. So today, as we remember those in prayer for safety, may we remember those in the Ukraine. I think we've got a couple that have jumped on here. Let's see, just someone is asking me to message them, and I don't know who that is. Diane, good morning. Thank you. She says, good morning, Lana, and to all watching. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much, Diane. I appreciate you, and thanks for jumping on. We have Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Good morning, Lana, and all watching. Didn't hear what's happening to Charles, so thank you, Lana, for holding down the show. Hope nothing is wrong with our fearless leader. Blessings to all. And it's he's traveling north. It's a not 2 or 3 day journey, Kathy, but he's up there. His son is having a surgery, and they're going up to be with the son. So just praying for his safety and for the surgery that's going to be going on. That Charles will be safe as he travels, and I think his wife is traveling. I don't know for sure. So, but prayers for her too, because the son is having surgery, and pray for the son. And thank you, Tom. Lana, great job today going solo. Well, we'll see. My voice has been kind of going up and down, and yesterday was a big day here. My daughter in law is having surgery tomorrow, and the girls didn't have school yesterday. They don't have school today, and Grandma's going to be doing her live tomorrow from their home, which isn't too far away. It's not quite 10 minutes. So thank you for the encouragement, Tom, and may you have a blessed day today. So I'm gonna take a look here before we forget. Yesterday we were let me see if I can find it here. We skipped right through those that we wanted to pray for. And of course, prayers for Coach. And we're thanking God for his safety as he travels and he's away. Curtis Brown, Rex Smith, Red Burkhammer, Shelley Elliott, Nancy Kerbrand, Ashley Van Winkle, Jeff Rainey, and of course, Keith, we think of you always, thanking God for you, Keith Landers, Eric B. Flournoy, Eric, I miss you, Joe and Joseph, Connie Martin, Sue Tavares, Jeanette Tibio, Brad Goodwin, I spelled that wrong. Sorry about that. And Kim, thinking about you, your husband, and your family, and Sadie Wimpin. Sadie, I haven't got an update on her, but God has been so gracious to that young lady, and we're just praising and thanking Him for that. Um, Thinking of you, Kim, as you go through the loss of your father, but we know that he has life eternal, and we're just praying for you. So, with that, I'm going to go on and we're going to go into John. Now, something we found out as Charles was going to be gone for a little while, not forever, just for a little while. The John's got some real long chapters. So Charles says, just divide everything up. Lana, just divide everything up. So that's what I did for today. I thought I'm just going to do this so it isn't quite so long. The chapter isn't all that long, but I thought I'm going to divide it up anyhow. So we're in John 5. And I'm going to be reading 1 through 18 today. Jesus heals a lame man by the pool. Sometime later, and as you recall, we were in Galilee yesterday, and Jesus had healed the son of this man from a distance. So now, sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath. And so the Jews said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. So, because Jesus was doing these things on the Sabbath, the Jews persecuted him. Jesus said to them, "My Father is always at work to this very day, and I too am working." For this reason, the Jews tried all the harder to kill him. Not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God his own Father, making himself equal to God. Three feasts required all Jewish males to come to Jerusalem: the Feast of the Passover and Unleavened Bread, the Feast of the Weeks, also called Pentecost, and last, the Feast of the Tabernacles. After 38 years, this man's problem had become a way of life. No one had ever helped him. He had no hope of ever being healed and no desire to help himself. The man's situation looked hopeless, but no matter how trapped you feel in your infirmities, God can minister to your deepest needs. Don't let a problem or hardship cause you to lose hope. God may have special work for you to do in spite of your condition, or even because of it. Many have ministered effectively to hurting people because they have triumphed over their own hurts. Let me read that again. Many have ministered effectively to hurting people because they have triumphed over their own hurts. As I looked at that about carrying his mat, can you imagine? These are people that were supposed to be the ones that were taking care of people. They were the ones that were probably the Sanhedrin, maybe not, but the big people in the church, those that were attending the synagogue. So here he is healed. And they knew he'd been healed. But, they said, "Well, hey, the law forbids you on the Sabbath to carry your mat." Can you imagine? It's kind of reminded me of some things today, when people have struggled so long and they've had burdens, maybe health, maybe financial, and and good people of the church, supposedly, maybe others, maybe friends. They get back on their feet and they're doing well, and they can think, but hey, what about then? Always looking back rather than rejoicing and looking forward. So, with that in mind, always remember to pray for those that are unable to pray for themselves. Remember to put on the full armor of God. Those darts that are thrown at us daily, and they're daily. I find that sometimes when I'm tired, they come on like a real flood, and that I've been told is normal. I'm not so sure it is. And I constantly need to remember to put on the armor of God. Pray as we go through this week without Charles that we will be able to reach those that are needing it the most. Pray for wisdom and safety for all. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye for today. Remember, as our friend Fitz, who was such a blessing, always will be a blessing to us, would say, have a red letter day. God bless all of you. And let's see, I think that's it. We're going to close. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. God bless. Praying for all.